someday you'll leave and I ain't gonna grieve. I learned that love just ain't so fair. So I got 2 and 3 and 4, and I got more and more. If you leave me tonight, honey, I'll be alright, 'cause I got more and more and more. I've been strung along by many a girl. You're not the first there's been. You can leave if you dare, honey, I got a spare. From now on I'll always win, 'cause I got 2 and 3 and 4, and I got more and more. If you leave me tonight, honey, I'll be alright, 'cause I got more and more and more. Where people laugh and stare as I walk by in my long tail coat and my tie. And I just tell them this when they ask me why. I'm a retro man with a retro plan. I'm a retro man with a retro plan and the finest hair in the land. I'm a retro man with a retro plan. I like to be myself again. I like to dress up fine and I select my hair. Oh, the girls I like to laugh at what I wear, but I just walk on by, 'cause I don't care. I'm a retro man with a retro plan. I'm a retro man with a retro plan and the finest hair in the land. I'm a retro man with a retro plan. I like to be myself as again. Like that old time way living off the land. I even built my home with my hands. And I'll tell you why I'm in this old time band. I'm a retro man with a retro plan. I'm a retro man with a retro plan and the finest hair in the land. I'm a retro man with a retro plan. I like to be myself again. I like to be myself again.
Okay, now I'm really unmuted. Hello. Welcome, everybody, to Creative Chaos. Happy Thursday. And I've been pretty good about not coming in muted, so not bad. And I'd like to thank my sidekick Batman for yelling at me, "You're muted, you're muted." I don't know if you guys all heard that, but I appreciate your assistance in that. Anyway, thank you for being here. I see there's 16 people watching. Thank you. And then over on Pilled, I saw we got rated by Madness Comic Network, one of my most favorite channels over there. So thank you for that. So hello to Ghost Pepper and Smot Poker, and I believe Agent Feisty Mango checked in over on Pilled as well. And over on the other platforms, I think probably mostly YouTube is our wonderful mod Vulcan Lives. He even said I was muted too. And Edwin at I don't know if I'm going to say this right. I'm going to say it acevedo, kind of like avocado. At least that it makes me think of an avocado, like an ass avocado. Anyway, I and Jay James popping in over there, I think on YouTube as well. Saying howdy. What's up, Jay James? Thanks for popping in again. I hope you stick around for the show because we've got a great guest tonight. But before we do that, I'd like to thank our house band. That was Jake Vaadeland. I love bluegrass. It makes me feel so happy all the time. And they had a little bit of a twist of some rockabilly in there as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed that opening band. And for now, let's go ahead and bring in my super awesome sidekick, the Batman.
Hi, everybody. Want to say, hey, what's up, Jay James, Vulcan Live, Pops over at Madness Comic Network. Good afternoon or good evening, Kaz. How you doing? And then, of course, we have our guest in the wings waiting for us to bring him in. Ben Sullivan. Ben, he's our
Popping
friend.
in.
Better get into our Ben friend.
Okay, we don't need the you're my friend. You're my friend. You're the best old Ben that's ever been. Ben, you're my friend. We love you, Ben. We
So,
just
hi,
love you so much.
Christy.
Hi. How's it going?
Um, it could be a little bit better. We had a rough time this past week here in Lima, Peru. We
An
got
entire
into our
week.
we got into our um, Airbnb the beginning of the week when we came back from the Andes Mountain region over from Festival, and the apartment smelled like urine and musty, mildewy, and I was like, I'm not staying here. There's no way. So I wound up fighting with the hostess, how to get Airbnb involved, the app, canceled the reservation completely, and it took me a day or two, but I fought for the whole reservation refund, got the whole refund back. And then we got into another place, and my girlfriend does not like the place I chose, so she's very
Really?
upset. Yeah, because it's it doesn't have everything she would be comfortable with, and we're right on a
Like the
main.
smell of urine?
Well, that was the old place. Thank God
No, I know.
we got out of that one. But no, it doesn't have a washer and dryer. The kitchen's too small. The bedroom's not appropriate for her. We're on a main thoroughfare. We're on one of the major roads here in Lima, Peru,
I
and
think I was
it's
just hearing some honking.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
like all night long. You close the windows and you're fine, but it's so hot. They don't have air conditioning here in Peru. They have like, fans and such. So I found the fan and we've been using the fan. But if I leave the window open, she can't sleep. So this afternoon we came home and we took a siesta and I passed out in the bed and I didn't care. The windows open, fan going, I don't care. I pass out. Look, I'm a New Yorker. What do I give a shit? I don't care.
Yeah,
I woke
right?
up. I woke up and I couldn't find her. I open up the laundry room. She's laying on three chairs with the cushions from the couch, passed out on the chairs, on the cushions, in the laundry room because the door is closed and it's in the center of the apartment, so she couldn't hear any of the noise. I was like, "Are you
Oh.
kidding me?" Like, I wish I had my camera. I would have taken a picture and it would have been like hysterical. But
Now,
she was not happy with me.
now, is that because she lives rurally in Peru, so she's not used to the noise?
She lives in what would be a more suburban area. This is very city. This is very urban. We're literally right on the main drag here, and so ambulances come by all day and night. There's a 24-hour gaseteria, the gas station across the street. So cars are always going crazy. Yeah, my snoring. She snores louder than I do, pops. She snores louder than
How
I
do
do.
you
So
know? You're asleep when you're snoring.
yeah, it's all good. But anyway, we're in this place for 5 more days. I go back to New York. I just want to spend a little bit more time with her. And we're going back to her sisters and her mother's tomorrow during the day. We're only here at night. So we're trying to stay out of the apartment as much as possible. And it is what it is for the next 5 days. So she's going to have to tolerate it just long enough till we get back. And then I leave. So
Well,
she's not
I
happy
hope
I'm leaving.
I really do hope that you guys learn to enjoy, the situation that you're in. And
Make the best of it.
lucky you, I don't know how sweltering hot it is, but sounds nice, especially because plenty of people are, in winter time here in the United States. Although it's been beautiful here as well. In
It's 75 degrees outside right now. I got the doors open to the patio deck. I don't know if you can see, but here, I'll
I
show
can
you. Hold
hear.
on. Yeah, hold on, Freddie. I'm going to take it outside real quick. But I mean,
All right, let's take a look at a urban Peru. Wow, busy.
yeah, and this is 9 o'clock at night here in Peru. You got garbage
Nice.
trucks going by, you got ambulances, but just look at the street. Whoop. Oh, shit. What'd I do?
Okay, well, as long as you don't drop your camera, I think we're good.
That's what I was trying not to do, but hold on a second here. There we go. Okay. Yeah, I'm holding onto my computer just below the ledge, but I mean, you can see how busy the street is. It's crazy.
Yeah.
But
Well, I'm sure
anyway,
you guys have plenty of choices for entertainment and stuff like that as well.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, it's a beautiful town, and we since we've been back. from the mountains because her village, her original where she grew up, is literally in the mountains of the Andes. And we were in San Pedro de Cajas. It was great. But enough about me. We're already like almost 20 minutes into the show. Let's get our guest in and let's start,
But before we do that, we need to do a
we need
couple
to
of
like,
things.
subscribe, click that thumbs up, send us some red pills, send us some gold pills. If you're on pill.net, you got to like, subscribe, share, and more.
Yeah.
Give, send, go. We'll take that too. We
And
need everything we can
I
get.
have a pop-up for that as well. And also, we didn't plug Flip City Magazine yet. And this is kind of an announcement.
How could we not promote Flip City
Exactly.
Magazine? The whole point of this.
It's the whole reason that we made, well, it's half the reason we made Creative Chaos. The other half is to, feature other indie creators. And we have a good one for you tonight. So I'm going to make the plug real quick. And I just have something to share with you guys here. So,
Please.
cause if we can share the screen. Flip City Magazine is launching a campaign for Volume 24 this Saturday at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. And this is what the campaign looks like. It's for Volume 24. I do not have a promotion video up yet. I may not even put one up because I don't think they really sell that much. It's more about going around and to as many podcasts as you possibly can, like these. And look, I already found a typo. It says volume 25. I thought I fixed that. It's for volume 24. That'll be fixed before we go live. And this is just kind of what the campaign looks like. Where you're going to find this, it's exclusively on Fund My Comic. It's fundmycomic.com/FlipCity24. We're launching on Saturday at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific, or avocado, as our good friend Batman likes to say. And something that you might note is missing is our lead parody. That's being worked on right now. The script is over to Ben, and I'm sure he's dropped everything to get that illustrated and done for Flip City. And we've got a lot of really, really cool rewards for backing. We've got a catch-up 6-pack and a catch-up 4-pack. And then, of course, you can also support just buying the individual magazine. Something that we do because we send out magazines to our subscribers, regardless of anything, is we're offering free shipping in the USA. It's $13 to back for a physical magazine, and you don't even have to pay shipping if you're in the USA. So check us out on Saturday on the Flip City Magazine channel. We'll be doing a FAFO live with many, many friends, doing live reads, messing around, and checking in with the campaign. So that's what we're doing this Saturday at launch time. So
wait, I got to ask you a question. I have to ask you a question. How much is it going to cost me to have you ship it to Peru once I'm here full time?
I set the international shipping is set kind of high. The worldwide shipping on an individual magazine, I believe, is $30.
Wow, that's one hell of a magazine. You know what?
It's one hell of a postal system.
Yeah, well, that too. Hopefully Trump will revamp that soon enough.
We'll see what happens. All right, so you guys, and in the meantime, if you don't know what Flip City Magazine is, go check us out at flipcitymag.com and come back on Saturday for our FAFO show. You're going to learn a ton more about what Flip City is, because we're going to be doing a lot of live reads of Flip City Magazine content with a lot of fun people. So check that out. All right. And that is our pitch for tonight. And I'm super excited to bring in our guest. And it's going to take me 1 second to get my windows correct so I can read him in correctly. So we've got in the wings, waiting for us to get our shit together, we've got Dave BRINK. And he began his comic publishing career with his company, Genuine Comics, in 1994, releasing a few Dutch comics. And after a 15-year hiatus, relaunched with a comic titled Earthling. He's visiting tonight to talk about his fifth edition in his series called Perfect 10. So let's take a look at this trailer and we'll see Dave on the other side.
The Perfection Program. That's what they call it. It gave me life, but it also caused death. I never asked for any of this. Running from superpowered murderers who want revenge. Revenge for something I did? Something I can't remember. But I won't run. I refuse. I don't want to be controlled anymore. This world needs more heroes than villains. That's more important than anything, isn't it? My existence has to mean something. It has to make a difference somehow. For Virgil. For Aaron. I need to be worth this life I've been given. I need to do what's right. Even if it kills me.
Wow.
Hey Dave, I have no idea how bad I'm lagging.
I don't know yet. We will find out. Am I lagging? Because I'm all across the world, right? We're from Peru, the United States, the Netherlands, so
That's right.
anything can happen tonight.
You know what though? I'm going to choose to blame you for everything that goes
Yeah,
wrong tonight.
we do that. Hi
It's
guys.
so nice to meet you.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me on. Really cool.
Yeah. Yeah, and I have to let you know because we didn't have any kind of debriefing before, and we've never met before.
Yeah.
So I need to let you know. I know you were talking to Kitty Phillips. That is not me. My name's Christy. It actually is me in disguise.
I figured. Good disguise though.
Oh, thank you.
You got me for a moment there.
Hello and welcome. It's so nice to have you. And one of the ways that we like to get to know our guests is a very, very quick beginning segment. And it's actually hosted by the Batman. Are you okay for us to go into fanboy for us?
What did you say? Into fanboy?
Yeah, fanboy for us. And then you just agree.
Oh,
Say yes.
okay. Yes.
Okay,
Yes, that's our introduction as to how we get to know who you are. And I muted that time. That was my fault. So now I'm clean. We're clear. I'm going to, oh my God, I got to close these windows. Hold on a second.
Well, it's noisy in Peru.
Yeah, it is.
What time
Well,
is it there, by the way?
I don't know what time it is in Peru. Oh,
Wow.
he was saying it was 9, so I think there are only. What time is it in Peru?
9:15 right now, 9:17. Yes. Same time as New York.
Yeah,
Big
so
Apple time.
you don't even change your time zone.
Nope.
All right, cool. Are we ready to do fanboy for us?
Let's rock and roll. All right. So this is where I ask you a series of rapid fire questions. Don't think about it. Just bring the first answer that comes to the top of your head because it's going to probably be your go-to favorite anyway. So
Oh
the
God.
first thing I've got to ask you, Dave, is favorite food. What type of food do you like?
Roti.
What is it?
Roti. It's very difficult to explain in English. It's a Surinaams. You know, what's the country called? Suriname in English. It's a Suriname dish. I don't know how to explain in English. I'm so sorry.
It's
Is
my
it meat?
favorite.
Yeah, but it's like a pancake, and it has little potatoes with it, and sauce, and it's really good.
What's it called? One more time.
Roti, roti.
Roti.
Yes,
Roti.
yes.
Okay,
Roti. Okay.
cool.
All
I,
right.
I think we just call them potato pancakes here.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Maybe.
Or
Maybe.
pierogi, like a pierogi. Could it be a pierogi?
I don't know. I honestly do not know how to translate this.
No, that's quite all right. That's fine. All right. Favorite drink? Alcoholic or non-alcoholic doesn't matter.
That's my diet coke. I always drink the same thing the entire day.
Diet Coke. Okay. Very good. Easy and simple and very easy to get all over the world. Diet Coke is easy to find.
Yeah. Phew.
All right. Your favorite movie?
Oh, I don't really have a favorite movie. I do like Planes, Trains, Automobiles. I watch that movie every
Oh,
year. Yeah,
every year. Wow.
every
I
year. I
haven't
watch it
seen
every
it in,
year. It's one of my favorites.
wow, I don't think I've watched that in like 20 years.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh,
me
it's so
neither.
good. It's so good. It's almost perfect. It's almost a perfect movie.
Okay,
All
I'm
right.
gonna have to go back and watch that.
Favorite character? Any genre? TV, movies, comics, anything. Favorite character?
Well, that has to be 10. My own, of course.
Oh.
Is that allowed? Is that allowed?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I don't
Absolutely.
think anybody's actually taken that answer. So,
Really? Oh.
yeah, very
Yeah.
brave of you.
All right. Um, what am I missing? Music. Favorite music.
I'm kind of into synth pop, but I really lean towards the electronic, like the complicated, like the chemical beats, like complicated beats, like
Yeah.
so call it chemical. Basically, that's the genre called. I really
Chemical.
love that. Yeah.
Okay. It we call it techno industrial.
All right.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. But this is more like you have drum and bass, like old fashioned the Prodigy. You know the Prodigy, right? So, with the complicated beats and yeah, it's really cool. I really love that.
Very cool. We'll have to look into that. And what am I missing, Christy?
I think
Food,
you
drink,
did.
movie, character, music.
Yeah. I
We
think
covered,
that's
I
it.
covered it. Okay.
Vulcan
Oh,
Lives will let us know if we missed something, but
those were easy.
it is very easy. I don't know though when he put me through it because I I'm like I'm not really that into comic books, so if I say a character, I think I'm going to fuck up. Okay, we're done with fanboy for us. But something that I missed, I wasn't watching the chat while the trailer was playing. And we've got Vulcan Lives over here with bulging eyes. We've got Flip City's lead parody artist Ben Sullivan saying, "Wow, awesome artwork."
Oh, cool.
Vulcan Live saying, "Rad trailer." And that trailer actually, I have to agree, it told me wh- it told me a lot, I feel, about what your book is about,
Yeah.
because that was another thing I was guilting today because I had to go do life stuff. And I did not do as much research into you as I normally do. And I'm like, that's all right. Fuck it. We'll do it live. Right. But that trailer let me know so much about Perfect 10, I believe. But something I like to do when we're kind of introducing a project on the Creative Chaos stream is I love to hear elevator pitches. And you've got to have a great one because this is your fifth book. So I'd love to hear your elevator pitch.
Yeah. This is really embarrassing. The pitches are so difficult, even as the writer making this elevator pitch. Yeah. So my elevator pitch, basically, what I constructed through the years is that the story is about a biosynthetic meta humanoid who wakes up in a superhero universe and is cast into a war between two factions, and she has to find out who she is and what her role is within this world.
Okay. It sounds very interesting. So,
It's really difficult.
I'm
Uh,
sorry, what did you describe her though as a bio what?
bio, a biosynthetic metahumanoid, but in the comics she's referred to as a synthoid for short. She's basically created, so she's a artificial human.
And she has
So
big
would you
boobs.
say, I'm sorry, Christy, would you say she's a clone?
Not really.
So
No.
she's just a synthetic humanoid.
Yes. Yes.
She has a heart, she has all
Yes.
internal
Yes. She's
organs,
completely
and
she
she
has
has
like
superhuman strength, or she
yes.
has superhuman skills.
Yes, super. She's basically 10 times more capable than the normal human. So she is made of flesh and bones and blood, and but everything is like made of this artificial tissue that's especially created to regenerate. So she constantly regenerates. She can take a lot of damage, um, and but she's 10 times stronger and faster than a human, for instance. And she knows every human language. She knows every form of martial arts. She can use every form of firearms and weapons, and so she's really so she's created to do something that will be explained in the series. But she is above human. Yeah.
Have you ever seen a TV show that ran from 2015 to 2020 called Blind Spot?
No, I never heard of that.
Okay. Um, Jane Doe is found in the middle of Times Squares with no memory, mysterious tattoos all over her body, and she's found by a special agent who kind of takes her in and tries to help her regain her memory. But she has very similar to what you're describing your
Mm,
character. She's not
right.
metahuman. She just happens to be a black ops agent who had her memory wiped and dropped in the middle of Times Square with all these tattoos that lead towards different activities in the different shows, episodes of the show that cause her
Oh, right.
to create, this whole story arc. And it's very reminiscent, similar to what you're telling us about your character, but
Mm.
the fact that she's metahuman, it takes it to a whole new level. I like that. So look up Blind Spot
Blind
TV show.
spot. All right.
Blind Spot,
I'll check that
2015 to
out.
2020. It ran for 5 years. It was a great show, and
Right.
it's very reminiscent of what you're talking about. Similar, but yours tangents off with the metahuman, and I love
Right.
that.
Yeah, I'm usually not a fan of starting the story with the protagonist with like what do you call it, amnesia. Uh,
Right.
Oh, right.
uh, I I think it's kind of tropey, but for this comic, it just made sense. It had to be this way, and but this also means that I found out this is the perfect like jumping on point for new readers because the main character knows nothing about the universe, and we've been building this universe for years, for 10 years now. We have a lot of titles, different titles. All the comics we make take place in the same universe, right? And Ten wakes up in this universe. She knows nothing about it. So for the reader, she's a perfect stand-in. So I think this is why new readers really love the Perfect 10 series. Plus the fact that we're now at issue 5, so you actually have this lore that you can follow, right?
Well, because you brought up the universe and I had no idea. And, in your reading, I had mentioned your first title, which I don't have up in front of me. I'm sure you can tell me what it is.
It's called Earthling. Yeah.
Yeah, Earthling. And so from launching your universe and writing within your universe to where you started with Perfect 10, like if you can just give us like, I don't know if I'd even say an elevator pitch, but a brief on what your universe is and what you're building here, that'd be great.
It basically came from a so I started this when I was still in school with other students, with fellow students, and we just wanted to make comic books. We all loved like superhero comics. It was around the time that we got to know Image Comics, right? So we wanted to create like the superhero world. We all created these characters. So there wasn't really much more to it than that. Create our world, make books, and sell them. But we discovered that was very difficult. We were still students. We had like other things to do. We needed to grow up. We we needed to work. So
And there wasn't crowdfunding.
and there wasn't crowdfunding exactly, and so it kind of so we did that for a few years, and then we all went different ways. We all needed to do like live lives, and but after more than 1 decade, I got that itch again to make comic books, and I picked up the label Jamin Comics with like the basic structure of this world that we had created together, and I kind of rebooted things. So, and I started with Earthling, and it was the first book that I made in English. I wanted to do crowdfunding, and I wanted to like uh, um, see what the English market could mean, because it's I'm from the Netherlands. We have this comic book like culture here, but it's very small. So if you want to do something substantial with your comics, you need to go global. Um, so English language made sense, right? So that was my first English language book, and my first crowdfunding experiment also, and started there. So I never really stopped since then. So I've been doing this for 10, almost 11 years now.
Okay, now, are you the writer on all the books, or do you hire out? Because I would assume it might be a little difficult, English not being your first language, to write for an English audience. Have you found that to be a challenge?
It can be a challenge sometimes. I don't think people really notice that I'm not English. Like I write better English than I speak it, because I have the time to think about it and to construct sentences. Um, and
By the way, I was not digging at you not
no, no,
speaking good English. You're doing great.
I
You're
get that.
great.
Thank
Yeah.
you. No,
Christy,
but
you're not speaking English well either, so it's
I
okay.
never do.
uh, yeah. But yeah, and I learned a lot of English from comics. Really, I wanted so I read like American comics. I gravitated towards the American superhero books. So I read imported comics, right? So we had these European books, which are a completely different format. They have a different like they come out once per year. For instance, it's a different structure, right? But I really liked the superhero books. The first superhero book that I ever read, by the way, was a crossover between Superman and Spider-Man. It was this
Okay.
this treasury edition. It was really cool. It was translated to Dutch, and it was my first introduction to these characters. And I later learned, so I wanted to know more about these characters, right? So later I learned that these characters didn't belong in the same universe. So there were multiple universes, right? So well, so there was a lot for me to discover. It was really cool. Anyway, so what was the story? What was the story? I completely went on this tangent. I'm really sorry.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah, because I even changed the subject a little bit, asking, how you write for an English
Oh
audience.
yeah, right, right. I I write most of the stories, but I do work with other writers also. I work with Michael Oden, for instance. He writes Elysian Fields, his own series, but he did American Bliss for us. She is a American character, American iconic superhero within the Jamie Comics universe, and it made really sense to put this this American team on that, right? To get this American vibe, this essence that I maybe can't really like write in the way that he does it. So that made sense. And I have this series called Power Trip, which is a anthology series with shorter stories because we have so many concepts and characters. We can't give them all their own books, but we can feature them and show them, introduce them through shorter stories, and these are collected in the series Power Trip. And Power Trip is made by different creative teams. So every short story is done by a different team, so different writers also.
Something that I thought was really interesting in your story, which I had pulled out by what you have on
Mhm.
genuinecomix.com, correct?
Yes.
um, was that you had, the team of students that you were working with, and then you decided to reboot it. I was really interested in knowing if you told any of your former classmates or asked permission, or if you just did it.
Uh,
Like, I want to know if there was drama.
No, there was no drama, not at all.
Good.
No, they know that I do it, that I do this. They are very supportive, but they're not interested anymore in doing comics.
Right.
So I don't really use their characters anymore either. Um,
Okay, that was my other question was,
yeah,
okay, did you take their characters and bring them in? So,
I
and
did ask permission from one of them to use one of their characters for Perfect 10 Book 1, and because I needed a villain to kill. And I didn't want to kill any of my own characters, and he didn't want to do anything with his own characters anyway. So I was like, can I take this character from you and just brutally murder them?" And he's
he's
like,
like,
"Yeah, sure." Uh,
Yes, nice to hear from you too, Dave."
uh, so yeah, so he was completely cool with that. Mhm.
Okay, that's fantastic.
Did you have to throw him any royalties for it, or he just was like,
No,
"Go
no, just no.
cool, very cool"? Have you tried having anybody make an action figure of your characters?
Oh yeah,
You
yeah,
have.
yes. One sec.
Ooh, do we actually have a character to look at? Hey, Bruce, while he's looking for that, oh, I was on a podcast the other day, and the person's back wall is just covered in toys, and he's going to come on Creative Chaos in a few weeks. I'm like, I have a feeling this might be one that I'm sitting back and not talking at all, because you guys are going to geek out on toys. Anyway,
Very
go
cool.
ahead, Dave.
So, so, so these were made once for a campaign. I, I I've been briefly with a specific publisher in the beginning a few years back. It didn't work out, but they had this deal with every campaign that they did that backers could order action figures of certain characters, right? So a few were made. So these are not mass produced, right? Just a few, and I got some. So this is from the first character, Earthling. Um,
Wow. In the
so
package and everything.
yeah,
I love
really.
that. Nice.
So really cool. Look at that, really
Oh,
awesome.
wow.
Wow.
And there were I can't remember how many were made, but I'm lucky to have one. And this is another character. She's a bit like she's not like
Set well in a
yeah,
package.
she's not set well. But
Yeah.
this is Dreamgirl's sleeper agent. I'm not really that satisfied with the paint job that they give it because you have these greens and they're supposed to like go into each other like gradually, like a gradient. Um, but anyway, the
Right.
colors are basically correct, but they're not applied like they should. But it's really cool to have, a little
Very
thingy.
cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
and you know
love
what?
that. I love when they do that and make a figure from a character. And even if it's a limited edition run and you only have like 8 or 10 of them, it's just cool to
yeah,
see a physical production of your character come to life in this toy form. I just love it.
Yes.
And
Something I've always liked to do.
that makes me think, like, does it give you a bigger thrill to actually get your books back in print, or one of those toys, or is it basically the same feeling?
I have to go for the books. I just love comic books, and the books are basically the thing, right? They tell the stories. These bring the characters to life. It's really cool to have these things, right? But it's like a side thing. So the books are the main. I'm you know I'm also thinking about like games, animation, stuff like that, but that's not on the forefront right now. I just want to make cool books. That's where my resources and my time go, and whatever happens happens. Next to that,
All
Have
right.
you ever have you ever been approached by anyone yet to turn it into a cartoon or a live action?
no, I have been talking to people who do animation to just find out what the costs are, and I'm working with someone on a like a game like situation right now, but that's a project that takes years, so we're pretty like early into development right now, but nothing like substantial towards any animation right now.
And by game, I'm assuming video game, not
Yeah,
like
yeah,
a
yeah,
board game.
yes.
All right. Very cool. Now you've got, I'm sure this is the reason you came on this show, is you'd like to talk about your Kickstarter a little bit. I did drop the link. I think I did. Um,
By the way, the trailer that you guys showed was made for issue two, but it's still relevant, right? It's still a fantastic. It's still relevant. Doesn't matter. But so we have a different trailer for this one, but it's very difficult each time to create the new trailer without actually spoiling anything. That that's so tough because you want to show things, you want to have this little story going on to get people hooked, right? But you also don't want to spoil anything, and that's very tough when you're in issue 5 and you have like revelations and stuff like that.
right. I apologize for running the wrong trailer. I
No, that's
totally
perfectly fine.
grabbed
I
it from your Facebook. I
Yeah,
was like, I like this.
yeah, no, but I posted it myself like a few days back because it's still relevant, so it doesn't matter. It's really cool.
Right. And just so everybody knows, I dropped the Kickstarter link into the chat. It is also in the description of the video for anybody that happens to
Oh,
watch
cool.
this
Thank you.
afterwards. And so, why don't you talk about your campaign, or even just crowdfunding in general, like your experience, or, you know, um, how you built your audience? I'm assuming through crowdfunding, that's how you did it.
Yeah, partially crowdfunding. So I have a lot of returning. So I have this core group of backers that always return for new issues, which is good news. This means that I'm doing something right. And a few years ago I started my YouTube channel. Because I was struggling with the thing is when you are this indie creator nowadays, you have to put yourself out there. You have to go on streams. People want to see who they support. They want to learn more about you, and I absolutely hate it. Yeah, it's not my thing. I just want to write and people see my name and that's it, right? Uh, but yeah, that's not the
Did you
world we live in.
did you just hear Dave Batman? Did you hear Dave insult me? He said
What?
it he said he hated being here.
No,
I
that's not what
kid.
I'm saying.
I
That's
kid.
not what I'm
That's
saying.
not what he meant.
You know what I mean, right? it's it's
I
it's
do.
just you have to do this, so do this because yeah, it just needs to be done, right? So
No,
but
I feel your pain.
yeah, but I was very nervous, very anxious, and so I went like this to other people's platforms, channels, talk about my books, and my heart was raising, and I have this stutter, right? And it was, and when I'm nervous, I stutter much more. So I knew that I needed to do something about that. So I started my YouTube channel and forced myself to every week do a show. So I had this guest, and I talked about indie comics, about their comic, their campaigns. It could be comics, could be animation, could be novels, could be anything that any indie character create indie creator makes, right? So I could practice also to get more comfortable in front of the camera. And sometimes you don't really notice, but it really worked. So I got better through the years, right? Um, and now basically my nerves are mostly gone, which is fantastic. I even took like classes next to this, so I actually went to physical classes to deal with talking talking for this audience. Uh,
Oh,
yeah,
so public speaking
yeah,
classes.
yeah,
Okay.
exactly. Public
Yeah.
speaking classes, just because I wanted to make comics. I wanted this to be successful, right? And this is just part of the game nowadays.
It's really interesting and something that I don't think a lot of people that watch streams realize unless you're doing it yourself. Because I didn't realize until I started doing what I'm doing for exactly the same reasons you're doing it. It's like, it really is our main motivation is to promote ourselves, but something that I didn't realize that because I really didn't want to do it. I hate watching myself back or anything like that.
Yeah.
Um I have learned to really love it, especially going on other people's channels and letting them know and everything. But that's something I don't think a lot of people that aren't kind of in the space doing this thing is that you're loving what you're doing so much. You are actually doing things that you hate doing like
Yeah.
this and making your own YouTube channel. I'm like, I don't want to be a YouTuber, but what am I going to I need to create a show where basically I don't have to talk the whole time and this works for me. And I love meeting all these people from the indie scene. Like I'm really enjoying myself way more than I thought I would. I don't know if that's the experience you've had with your YouTube.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Because you also need to build this network, so it had like different layers to it, right? Meeting new people. People really appreciate it when you give them this platform, so they can because my audience is slowly growing, right? So people can actually get backers through my show, and that's something that I really like when I can help someone, because it's very difficult as an indie creator. You need to go wherever you can go, expand
Yes.
your audience, right? Um, and there aren't.
Same, brother. Same. I feel
Yeah,
exactly the same way.
yeah, yeah,
Well, I gotta tell you this because Dave, I think I've been popping in and out. Like that's another thing, like weird thing. Like I'm one of those lurkers. Like I don't participate in chat a lot, so I'll watch things and never say a word. You know,
yeah,
and so thank you to all you lurkers out there. I feel you. You don't have to say anything. I still love you. Um, but I found you because a friend of mine went on your show. And I was like, hey, who's this guy? I got to go on his show, which I still haven't. And now I'm inviting myself on your show.
oh, oh, yeah, yeah. You're very welcome. Of course,
We'll
absolutely.
we'll talk later about this.
Yeah,
This is
yeah.
this is all about you. But yeah, that's something.
So,
It's
who's the
kind of
friend? Can I ask? Can I ask who the friend is?
in Cell Riot, William
Oh,
Dalebout.
right. Yeah,
Yeah, that was a while ago,
yeah. That was a while
probably
ago. Yeah.
over a year, I think.
Wow. Yeah.
So I've been lurking you for at least a year.
Oh,
I
good.
like doing the girl thing of stalking people. I'm a
Okay.
really good stalker. I stalked my husband.
but not for the reasons you think she stalks her husband for.
He liked it. No, this is way back in the day. And it worked. Anyway. Um, all right. I
Well,
think that uh
I just
you
have to make
guys,
one comment. I have
yeah,
to
go
make
ahead.
one comment. I was looking at while you guys were going on. I did look at the campaign, and I was looking at some of the other characters. Shadow Lion,
Mhm.
uh, just incredible artwork. I'm very impressed. It's reminiscent of, like you said, Image Comics. It's like you modeled yourself after the Image comic style, which I
Mm.
love. I mean, I
Well,
grew up on
yeah.
that. I'm an '80s comic book reader,
Oh
you
yeah.
know, and so I was into all the independents back then. And Image was like the new kid on the block, and
Yeah.
McFarlane and Liefeld and all the guy Quesada, all those guys went indie on their own with Image Comics, and Savage Dragon, Spawn, Grifter, all those guys that I grew up watching, reading back in college,
Mhm.
and to see your art style is very reminiscent of that era, and I love it. So well done,
Oh. Oh,
very
thank
well
you.
done.
Yeah, well, that was one of the things we wanted to capture this '90s spirit. So it's basically it because Marvel started to do the same like style thingy because it was kind of the vibe
It was
from the
right.
'90s.
It was catching on
Yeah,
because they were doing groundbreaking artwork back then. I mean, Liefeld always complained, he couldn't do hands and feet, so he always made them weird and chunkier than they should be,
all right. Yeah,
and that was
yeah,
his style.
yeah. It's yeah. The cool thing was that basically everything was turned up to 11 in the '90s, right? And that
Yep.
was the energy that we wanted to have with genuine comics. Just do crazy stuff, whatever you can think of, just do it. But um, it's also very important to me that we have good like stories because that was something with Image that was kind of lacking. You had like these great artists, right? But
Terrible
they
stories.
yeah they thought they could also write, but writing that's a completely different craft, right? Um, so um, so with Perfect 10, with every book that we bring out, it's very important that we have something to tell, not just make the comic because we want to make the comic, but actually we make it because we have this story. Um, that's important to me.
That's really interesting. Like I love how much so much of the indie scene is really wanting to kind of build on that nostalgia of
Yeah,
like of the past and everything. And on that note, I am wondering like how you feel the indie scene is moving. Like for me personally, I was a fan in the 90s of like digging the most obscure shit out. That seemed to be like a hobby of a lot of like teens and stuff like that in the 90s. Like I don't know if you guys did that as well, but in the United States that
Absolutely,
was a thing.
absolutely. Think about all the comic books that I refer to. Strangers in Paradise, the Terry Moore series, um, or Omaha the Cat Dancer. The stuff that's obscure as hell that wasn't mainstream. Yes, I live and die by Batman. I mean, that's my mainstay. That's always been my mainstay. But back in the late '80s, mid '80s, I graduated college in '86, but I was collecting comic books way back in the late '60s, early '70s. And the stuff I grew up on is definitely not the stuff that I started collecting when I was in high school and college. And I was more into the independents. Jim Shooter came out with Valiant Comics series, and everybody was going nuts for that stuff back then. And then it kind of like now you can't even give that stuff away. You can't even wipe your ass with it. It's worthless. But the independent industry left its mark in the early '90s into the late '90s. And from what Dave's been showing us and what we've been looking at, has definitely taken from that retrospective and brought it forward to a modern form, and the storytelling is so much better. Yes, I would agree. Your storytelling has definitely gotten better. There was that whole kind of like emptiness, as you said, back in the Image comic
It was,
world.
yeah, it was more spectacle than substance, basically.
Correct.
Yeah.
It was flash in the pan. It's exactly what it was. It was a flash in the
Mm.
pan. Great
Well,
artwork, terrible stories.
well, my main question, even for bringing
True.
that up, and either or both of you, actually, I'd love to hear your answer to this. Is do you guys like just with this like burgeoning like indie market happening and like a lot of options, do you guys hope or see any kind of like cultural shift towards people actually wanting to dig out the gems from this stuff, or do you feel like it's oversaturated? Like, I don't know exactly where I land on it. I just have hope that like young people and older people, want to find the cool shit that's happening that
I
nobody
think,
else knows about.
from my perspective as an old school collector, I think that adults my age, maybe 10 years younger, I mean, I'm 60, so 50 up, people who grew up with the 90s comic era prefer those story arcs. DC and Marvel went woke, and they're lucky they're not broke from what they started doing, and all this bullshit that they started putting in their comics. That people who are still looking to read good stories find and resource the independent market a lot more these days. And the money that's required to collect the independent books is more of an adult nature. Can we bring the younger audience in? I believe we can. But that's my perspective.
Mm.
Dave, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, I do think that the average like consumer that goes to crowdfunding sites is not really the younger generation. That's really difficult
To crack,
to
to
approach,
find.
right?
Yeah.
I mostly meet younger people at conventions, right? And they like it what we do, but through crowdfunding, it's usually our age, about a little
Right.
bit, right? But they really gravitate towards the books that we make, also maybe because of the nostalgia factor. I don't really know. But people do still like the superhero books. They just can't find the energy that they were used to from the 90s. They can't find that in modern, like, mainstream comics, right? So we have to bring it as the independence, but it's completely different way of getting your comics, right? It's not easy. You have to make it as accessible as possible, and crowdfunding is a little hurdle. So people actually need to find you through crowdfunding. So we go to we have the Jamie Comics web store. I'm now on Global Comics, for instance. So you have to find as many, like, what do you call it, avenues as possible
Avenues,
Oh
yes.
to
yeah,
get out there.
definitely.
But
don't
for instance,
don't
getting,
say no to any revenue source as an independent, for sure.
yeah, but getting into stores, that's really difficult, and that would really help if like shop owners would like stock up on indie comics, but that's difficult.
Right.
So
Right, absolutely.
not to change the subject, but I want to bring it around a little bit more. So if somebody wanted to get into your comic world, to get a hold of your books previous and catch up to Perfect 10,
Mhm.
where would they go to find your original work?
Thank you for that.
Well, we have the web store jamiecomics.com. People can buy almost a complete back catalog. There are some books that are sold out that you can't get no more. Um, but backers are always the first. So Perfect 10 Book 5 and Power Trip Book 2, which are two new books there, because this campaign that we're doing right now is a combined campaign, right? Um,
Joint venture.
yeah, and but it will take quite some time before these books go on the web store. So people can get all the can get the back catalog also through the campaigns. We do this. We have like add-ons. You have a catch-up tier. So every book we have still available. You can get through campaigns, and then about 1 year later, your these books go onto the web store also, because I'm also traveling like the convention scene between. So after the campaign, we do conventions. People can get the book then, and then later on it gets onto the web store.
Now
You
you're
know,
you're usually doing. I'm sorry, Christy. I didn't mean to step on you, but I just want to ask. You said you're doing conventions. You're staying local to the Netherlands. You're not coming over to the States, are you?
I really want to, but it's you know, getting your investment back with traveling there, and that's almost impossible. So
it's
I really
almost
want.
impossible living in the United States, I've heard. you
Uh,
know.
yeah. But I'm broadening out right now. So this year I'm going to Belgium also, like conventions there. Belgium, that's a big like comic book scene. It's mostly European, but maybe I can get some ground there. And then I hope someday to get to the New York Comic Con or whatever.
Ooh.
Sometime that
Uh,
would be awesome.
Well,
I'm
so
in New York, so if that happens, you keep in touch with Christy and me,
Oh yeah,
and we'll make
I was
sure
just
we'll make
I
sure to
was just
connect.
gonna say, like he will probably put you up. Bruce, the Batman is so freaking awesome. You guys, I've been watching the chat, and we have a new person. I don't believe JC's ever been here, and I think they have something to add to the conversation. So I'm gonna bring these chats up, and we're gonna read them real quick because I'm trying to also pay attention to you guys. So let's see. So JC just wishes there was more opportunities to be up to date on crowd-funded stories. It's not like I can go into a shop and pick up a number one. I usually support from YouTube channels that ventured in to their own comics, right? Like we're doing. And I know about it and what they're trying to do. Um, and then he goes on, or she. But I see an online and eBay random things like godlike Romulus saga, and that sounds cool, but wouldn't have known about it if it wasn't from someone on YouTube recommending it. So if it's not talked about, he's writing a
yeah,
whole
yeah.
like thesis here, then I wouldn't have picked it up. I'm just gonna stop it there versus working, walking down wall of comics, so on and so forth. I do want to just note something there, and something that like just Flip City got really lucky with, because this has been kind of a mission and something that I've never stopped doing is freaking beating down doors. Right. Thank you, the Texan, for the raid, by the way. I think we're having a very important conversation. So stick around, you guys.
Love that,
Um,
my brother Texan. Good to see you out there, Tex.
um, we wouldn't have ever gotten off the ground if I didn't get lucky enough to attract the attention of larger YouTubers that were like, hey, your project's awesome. I'm going to talk about it. And it was awesome for us. And it worked. I will always love and then also kind of want to strangle a lot of YouTube, like larger YouTube channels, because so many of them will just ignore you. It's like,
Hmm.
I don't care that you have this cool thing that totally suits my audience. If you don't give me $5,000, I'm not going to talk about it. And I'm like, you talk about culture war all the time, but you're not going to like actually show people where the culture war is. Annoying. So, JC, thank you so much for your comment. I don't know if either of you have anything to say, regarding what JC was talking about.
Well, yeah, that's basically the point of comics being accessible, and that's a problem that we have as indie comics. We are dependent on these crowdfunding platforms, otherwise we can't even make these books. So that's the first. So you kind of want to direct your audience towards the crowdfunding books, so you can So you can initially create the books, right? And but then you have to find other like ways to get out there, and getting into stores is really difficult. There are some local stores here that sell my books. That's because I know them, I talk to them, I bring them books, right? But getting elsewhere, like worldwide, that's almost impossible. Um, so yeah, so you have to have your own web store. You have to find like ways to promote it. Go to other channels, and it's a slow process, right? It's a slow process. I also think that we all have to get used to to the comic book landscape being different from what we kind of prefer. It's kind of this secondary thing. You have the like the mainstream thing where you can get your mangas, and you can get your Marvel books rather easily. But then you have the other like comic book creators, and it takes a little bit more effort. But you have a like this audience that is really into crowdfunding, and they really like to support new creators, and find out what's out there, and they really help us keep this going.
Yeah, it's kind of a double-edged sword because we're functioning in an online marketplace. Like I like to call it the screaming. We're trying to like get ourselves noticed within the screaming digital ones and zeros, you know, and we're also learning how to like beyond crowdfunding. I don't know about you, Dave, but like me, I mean, my number one job for what we're doing is marketing. So I've had to educate myself in digital and online marketing.
Mm.
And you're encouraged to be kind of deceptive, you know, like if you want to digitally market correctly, because you need to like play on emotions and all this. And I'm like, I don't want to do that. I just want people to look at my stuff. I don't know if you've done anything beyond crowdfunding to like market. I mean, obviously, you know, the networking and all that kind of stuff, but I don't know if
Yeah.
you've ever paid for ads or anything like that.
No, I never. No, I am no. No. Well, people told me that have done that, that it doesn't really do much oftentimes. So and at every like dollar that I have, I rather put into artists to create new pages, right? So you have to like be careful with the resources that you have. So I haven't paid for any ads so far.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the other thing too, because independent people are they're wearing every single hat under the sun, right? People go to school, you know, for
Mm,
4 or 6 years to learn how to market digitally. I mean, it's just not a thing that's really something that we can, like, as individual independent producers, be able to really learn how to do well. And you're going to waste a lot of money. Yeah, I personally, not to be a demoralizer or anything like that. I don't suggest anybody really pay for ads. What I would suggest though is at any point that you possibly can build your email list. So people that, you know, you have a direct connection to people that, you know, are interested in what you're doing. That's my best advice as a very novice digital marketer is just build your email list.
yep.
All right. Fantastic. Well, I'm going to say it again before we go into our ending segments, Dave. Um, But first, I have to say hello to all of our raiders over on Pilled. We got the Texan bringing in Subpack Vet, AV Reality, Prairie Fire. What's up? Girl Patriot and Energy. Thank you so much for the raid over there. It helps us to spread the word that there actually is a counterculture going on. It's just very, 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 very hard to find it online. And that's what Creative Chaos is about. So thank you guys for popping over. And hopefully you guys will stick around to the end of the show because we're about to go in to our segments, and Dave, they're really fun. I hope you're ready for them.
All right,
All
let's
right,
go.
cool. Oh, and also, I'm dropping your link again. After we get into this segment, I will drop Dave's link as he mansplains to me. But that's our next segment. You're going to mansplain something to me. Are you ready?
Okay.
Okay, we're going to get in there.
Oh, well, then perhaps you don't understand. See, mansplaining is when a man explains things to a woman like she's stupid.
Boop. All right, my nose has been booped. And Dave, something that I have heard over and over is that Americans are very loud. And
Okay.
for you to mansplain in the Netherlands how your people view Americans.
Really doing. I have to be careful now because most of my audience is from the United States.
Oh, but
Uh,
that's the thing. Like we can be very offensive on Flip City Magazine's channel. I mean, that's basically our brand.
right. Oh, how do I put this? Yeah, there is. Uh, I think there's a general idea, impression that we have that Americans are pretty arrogant.
Oh, arrogant. Okay, I
Yeah,
am.
that the world kind of revolves around America, and yeah, y- which is kind of true
It
in
is
some
true.
form.
We know it.
Yeah, yeah. So it's not like unjustified. It's but yeah, so Americans, they think they know it all. It's that's not that I'm saying that, but that's like,
No, it's fine.
yeah,
Speak freely. This is a
like
free speech channel. I literally will not be mad.
uh,
Like, I really want to know. I do want to know. Like, get gritty and dirty. Like, seriously, I like that you said that you all think we're arrogant, because I think that's probably true.
uh,
I mean,
yeah,
not me personally. I'm very humble.
of course, yeah. All the
I'm
people that I
not.
meet are very
Well,
humble.
you're a New Yorker.
I'm an arrogant prick. I know it. I admit it.
Yeah, what can I say?
Let us have it. Come on, Dave, do
Oh,
it.
really?
Let
Oh,
loose, Dave. Let loose.
okay.
I
Well,
want to know.
yeah. Sometimes yeah, I had this colleague. He went to has this. He had his girlfriend in Mexico, so he had to travel through the United States to get there, and something happened. She put this knife in his bag, so he was like, and he didn't know about it. It was this bread knife. And so they held him there at some like uh, airport.
Customs police.
Yeah, yeah,
Customs police. They
exactly.
oh, that's
So he was
bad.
still there. So he was still there 3 days later. So it
Oh
was
my
really, he was
God.
What?
treated like a criminal. And he was really upset about it. So when he talked about it, he was like, you can't talk to Americans. They're all so stupid. That's what he said, right? But it was because he was really frustrated with the situation. So I don't think that's the general consensus here. uh, but yeah, mostly that it can be difficult to get through to Americans.
We are
That
thick-headed. I will give you that. We are thick-headed.
that
Yeah.
is true. I am quite stubborn, and I think I chose a really really great topic, because we got Raul and T coming in with USA. Walk in with the American flags. We're very very proud.
By the
Proud.
way, I really love my American customers and my American fellow creators. Really really great people. And I
Like Jay James. Jay James is a creator, and he says Arrogant? I prefer superior.
Uh,
See, but that's the thing, and I don't know, and this could maybe just be lost in translation. I view all of this as a bunch of jokes. Like I Jay James is totally making a joke, like,
sure. Yeah, yeah, of course.
but maybe with a touch of truth in our own heart. Like we just might be superior. We've got
I
the
have to say
Constitution.
though, I have to say that when it comes to like it's sometimes difficult for me to get into the like what's called the vibe of this group. So there are these groups of indie comic creators. Most of them are from the United States, and that's where I mostly fit in because my books are really American,
Hmm.
and I really like getting to know these people, hanging out with other creators. But it's sometimes difficult for me to get into this mentality that they share. Right?
Yeah,
I'm still
understandable.
this outsider. Um, so kind of humor and what do you call it, ribbing?
That's exactly what I was gonna say,
Yeah,
busting balls. Like, I
yeah.
don't see that Dave would be that comfortable busting balls. Like,
No,
that is a very American thing, I think.
yeah, yeah.
And it is that's it's the way we show
Abso-fucking-lutely.
it's the way we show each other we love each other. Like, if somebody is mean and busting your balls, you're like, "Aw."
Yeah, yeah, the thing is that I try to always be very polite and sometimes that even can can annoy Americans. So just be rude sometimes, and that's very difficult for me. I just can't be rude. Like I really need to force myself to get into that mindset.
Yeah, and I can see how that would just be uncomfortable because that's not your personality. It's
Yeah,
not how you were raised. It's not your values,
yeah.
you know. I'd say, Dave, just continue being you, but realize if an American is being rude to you, it's only because they love you.
Oh
I
yeah,
think that's the
yeah.
way to function. Like, don't even try to compete with Americans in like being rude to one another. Like, it just wouldn't come off right.
Raul's is just keeps going on. He's like
Yeah.
very proud.
I think you muted out of nowhere.
I did. I accidentally hit it with my
Oh,
Okay.
hand. I want to say UK busts some balls too. Okay, JC's out there.
right,
All
right.
right.
America's the only country where you can be rich. Ha ha ha.
Yeah. Yeah, the UK they call it banter, right?
Yes,
Just
yes, it would
banter.
be banter.
Yeah.
I think they're much more polite as well. Or perhaps,
Oh, they're
it's just
snobby. Europeans
it's
are
just that
snobby.
accent. It's that accent. Like, they can
Uh,
say very rude things and you're like, "Oh, that's sweet." Which, by the way, ooh, Dave, I don't know if you've ever been exposed to this, but if you have somebody with a southern accent saying "bless your heart," it they don't like you.
oh really?
That's not a nice thing.
Not a compliment.
It's not a
Oh,
compliment.
oh, it's not
Just
a
so you
compliment.
know.
Okay.
Yeah. So if they say bless anytime, I only found that out a couple years ago. And then I
Uh,
was like trying to like look back in my past at how many times I'd been called said bless your heart thinking it was a compliment. And then I was like, "Oh man, that sucked."
Basically,
oh.
bless your heart
No.
means go fuck off.
Yeah.
Well,
That's not
sometimes it's about subtleties, right? So you can say the same thing in a different way, and it means something completely different. So maybe "bless
Yes.
your heart" does sometimes mean, hey, means positive things, right?
I've
So
heard, because I was
no.
recently in a chat. Somebody said "bless your heart," and I said, "Hey, I know what that means." And that person said, "No, no, no, it has multiple meanings." But I think they're just trying to trick us.
All right. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I don't think it does. Anyway, thank you so much for like really sticking your neck out there and like saying what you really think of Americans, and you think we're all a bunch of assholes,
Uh,
and you hate your readers. Just kidding. I can't. Anyway, Anyway, it is time for us to get into our next segment, which is a fan favorite of Creative Chaos. We're going I'm forcing you into conspiracy corner, sir. I have
All
no
right.
idea if you're a conspiracy theorist at all,
Oh.
but the point
Uh-oh.
is basically anybody that doesn't agree with all of the mainstream 100% all the time, you're a conspiracy theorist. I'm assuming you are. So we're
No,
getting into you
I
are.
don't agree with everything from the mainstream. So this automatically makes me a conspiracy theorist, I suppose.
In
Yeah.
Indeed. All right, we're going to get into conspiracy corner and I will see you on the other side.
I wanna live with a conspiracy girl. I could be prepping the rest of my life with a conspiracy girl.
Those weren't aliens.
All right. So here's how this goes. I am wearing the very patented and very worn Flip City tinfoil hat. Basically, this makes it so we're absolutely protected. You do not need to be wearing one, and you can speak freely. This is a free speech show,
Hmm.
so you can uh, speak on any conspiracy as freely as you want. But we do have a conspiracy wheel. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So I'm gonna once the wheel's brought up, I'm gonna explain to you how this wheel works. So we've got all these topics here. And you get 3 spins. You can stick with the first topic or second topic, but if you choose to spin a third time, you're stuck with that third topic. The other thing is, it doesn't necessarily mean that you actually know anything about this conspiracy. This is why I love having creative writers on. Even if you don't know anything about the conspiracy, you can make up a story. It does not matter to me. Do you understand how the wheel works?
Yeah, I think so.
Are you ready to spin the wheel?
All right, let's spin it.
All right, let's spin that wheel. Alien. Now that is probably one of the most simple conspiracies on here. And I just wanted to say you're welcome, Raul.
uh, yeah. The aliens. Well, is
Would
that
you
really
like
conspiracy? Is that really conspiracy? Right?
I don't know.
Because yeah. Well, they live among us, don't they?
It sounds to me, Dave, real quick, that you're cool talking about aliens for a few minutes. And we're on our topic.
Sure. Oh yeah, we can have this
All
topic.
right.
Sure.
All right, cool, cool.
I think this is the better topic. I don't know what else you got there. So let's go with aliens.
I like it. I think it's the first time somebody stopped on number 1, by the
Really?
way. So good for you. All
Oh
right. So you started saying they live among us. Explain.
yeah. Well, sometimes the world is so crazy, and you talk with people, and you see people online, and you just automatically think this person cannot be of this planet. So So just when you go to X, social media, you talk to people, you see some people comment. I'm like, where were you the last 20 years? This is it's like they just landed. So just from that, I think aliens do exist. They make like X like accounts. They try to integrate like to
I think Elon invited them.
oh yeah, Elon, he has contact with them. He gets their blueprints for the rocket, so they help him to get out there. I think I think aliens are trying um, to fit in, and I think I can relate a little bit. Um, because I sometimes try I sometimes feel a bit alien also within the comic scene, uh, yeah, that's so. And but I'm really curious to know how they look like. That's I do they.
So I don't know. See, that's the thing. Like, I do like watching kind of the more mainstream alien things, like Ancient Aliens. I don't know if you've ever seen that, but they talk about like multiple races of aliens. Have you ever heard such a thing?
Uh, yeah, well, if they're from different like planets, then they have to be different. But if you like mean like races, like we refer to races within the human race, then that's also a factor because every planet has their own continent. So aliens have to have different variations also. So it only makes sense.
Right, right. And I think when I talk about different alien races, I do actually mean like different planets or solar systems,
Right.
you know.
Yeah.
You hear about the tall blonde aliens and the grays and
Tall, blonde, handsome.
that.
The
Yeah.
avians, the grays, the lizard people. I mean, think about it. Cosmic, somebody said it out there. Uh, I think Zuckerberg's an alien. I think he's one of the lizard people. And then Cosmic commented, "The man who fell from Earth is Elon's secret autobiography."
Awesome. And I'm just going to take 1 second and say you're very, very welcome, JC, for the links to Perfect 10. I hope you go check it out and back it. That would be awesome.
Oh, thank you so much, JC. Excellent.
Yeah, JC's out there. Does this channel basically help promote independent comics, and you have different people come on and talk about their stuff? Yes, that is exactly what we do. We try to bring the audience new, different, and entertaining comic book venues, stuff that you're not going to find in your local comic book shop, and most of it will be a crowd-funded source. So please feel free to go back and watch some of our earlier episodes where we have everybody on from Mike Byron, the original Nexus series. He also did Punisher,
Mhm.
to people like Dave, who's got his comics that actually bring that retrospective of the 90s style art forward, but with better stories. So thank you for that, Dave.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I just love how good my Batman is good at a promotion. You're awesome. I'm like, yeah, go look at it. That's the link. Anyway, oh, and also just real quick, JC, yeah, so basically the first half of the show is all about the independent creators, and then we go into our fun little segments at the end. And now Dave has to talk more about aliens because we're not done with
Oh, I have to
conspiracy
talk more
theory.
about aliens. Oh, wow. I don't know. I
Or
don't
we
know.
could be done and we're gonna go into our final segment. And then we're out of
I'm
here.
really sorry.
Wait. I got to ask you, have you
Yeah,
ever seen the Rowdy Roddy Piper movie, They Live?
I haven't completely seen it, but I saw like segments of it, so
It's on the
I know what.
glasses, and all
Yeah.
of a sudden he
Yes.
sees the reality of what's going on.
Yes.
Yeah, I think we need those glasses back here again now, especially since the last administration, because all those people, as far as I'm concerned, are a bunch of fucking aliens. Pardon my French. Please continue, Dave.
By the way, this current administration right now, they're they're writing history, man. This is crazy stuff. What's happening right now? It I'm really fascinated with American politics, uh, like the things that are being done and undone and uncovered, and it's absolutely mind blowing. It's fascinating stuff, and I think it's necessary for the entire. That's this is the thing that we talked about, that Americans are pretty arrogant, but the things that they do affect the entire world, right? So I'm hoping that what you're doing right there will have a effect, like people here within Europe. We're going a bit crazy, right? So we need that here also. So
Yeah.
I hope you're setting the example that we will follow.
I think it's coming. I do believe you're right, and I've been on the Trump train since 2016 when he came down the stairwell. You know, it's been like so much so that I got involved in the political arena by making sure I was an election inspector this past year to make sure that there was no hanky panky in my area.
Oh,
And
really?
New York is as freaking blue blooded as it comes. I mean,
Yeah.
what a pain in the ass, but it did
Uh,
fall in Trump's favor, even though they played their games with the election. But I was there to make sure that in my district there were no games, no hanky panky, and it worked.
yeah, fantastic. It's when you think about how things could have gone differently. Like it's you don't really want to imagine. It's so this needed to happen, and it's going better than I could have ever expect.
Imagine, yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And I agree. I mean, even so much as getting Greenland on the chalkboard, so to speak, and getting the Dutch to back off. I
For
mean,
what? Oh, right.
off of Greenland, off of Greenland.
Oh, really?
Just the whole thing with Trump going, yeah, we're gonna go after Greenland. We're gonna make Greenland part of America. But
Oh,
there's more to it than that. If you haven't read The Art of the Deal, it's a really good book because it literally lays out exactly how he manipulates the situation to his favor. The Art of the
right.
Deal, The Art of War, Sun Tzu. It's all part of a master plan. And I love the fact that everything he does is methodical and planned out. And he doesn't decide to tell anybody what's going on. He keeps it all up here because if he tells you what he's going to do, then he's leaving himself open to get sideswiped, and
Yeah.
that's not going to happen with Trump. But thank you.
Yeah. Hey, I was wondering if you could please, Batman. You can talk more about Trump if you like, but I need to step away for one moment.
Yeah,
And
sure. Well, I
I'm
want
taking my tinfoil hat off.
to. Okay, so we're out of aliens and
We're
we're out of
we're out of
conspiracy talk.
aliens. We're out of
But I do
aliens.
want to talk. I do want to talk more about the political aspect of what you're dealing with in the Netherlands now. I mean,
Right.
how are you finding your government's adjustments to what's going on in America?
To America, yeah, you have like you have this. So so what you guys had with the mainstream, we have it also here. So once you notice it, you can't unnotice it. You see, wait a minute. So every like political segment that's about the United States uh, doesn't put Trump or Musk in a positive light, right? So it's so there are things going on also here, so we don't have this truly independent news uh,
So do you
mainstream.
go looking? Do you go looking elsewhere for your news? I mean, do you go on the
Yeah,
internet?
yeah,
So,
X
and are
mostly.
you the norm or are you the exception?
I think right here I'm the exception because I hang out with Americans because of my comics. So I catch a lot of information from them, um, and through X because that's where I do my promotion stuff, um, and and I watch YouTube, like specific YouTube channels or like Rebel News, for instance. That's one of the indie uh,
News services.
news. James O'Keefe.
Yes.
So these,
OMG.
yeah, these are the
Absolutely.
kinds of channels, and or Tucker, for instance. But you have to so you have to watch a few of those, and then like make your own mind to make up your own mind. But you can truly see when people are trying to be like actually show you what's going on versus people who like show you what they want you to think that's going on. Um, and here within the Netherlands, it's still mostly the second category. So people usually watch the mainstream news. They're not really into the groups that I'm in, you know. And it's really difficult here to talk about it with other people. It's you have to really explain why things are the way they are. Why would they do that? So you have to get really into why everything is happening, and it's too much work. You Yeah,
Especially when you're trying to like publish a comic book, and I'm sure you have all kinds of other stuff going on in your life, right?
yeah. Plus, it's really complicated for me. Also, it's complicated stuff oftentimes, right? And I I a few years back I decided that I s- I kind of stopped like listening to the news about 5 years ago. Uh, I listened to the radio every day, and I kind of stopped because it got me depressed. They tell you stuff about things that happen elsewhere, and there's nothing you can do about it. So it gets in your mind, it gets you a little bit. And I just wanted to focus on making my comics. Don't get distracted by fear or whatever. So I kind of tuned that out, and now I found these different channels like Rebel News and stuff like that.
Good. Well, and
Bravo for
just
you. Bravo. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to step on you,
no,
Christy.
go ahead.
Right after the 2020 election, when they announced Biden as the winner on Fox News, November 6th of 2019, I guess it was, that he had won, I was like, the polls haven't even closed in Arizona. They're 3 hours out. What are you telling me he won for? There's no way. Trump was up like literally 30 minutes earlier. Now they're
Right.
saying Biden's ahead. I turned off my TV. I called my cable subscription the next morning and I canceled all my cable vision. My kids got upset with me, but I'm like, you got streaming services. You don't need this freaking bullshit. We turned it off. We got rid of the cable vision. And that's it. I haven't gone back to regular TV since. I may stream a couple of shows here and there, on Prime or on, the Netflix, but even
Mm.
that's gotten stupid too. So I agree with you 100%. You have to
Yeah.
turn it off and you
Yeah.
got to walk away from the stupidity. So
My
good for you.
my question is to Dave, in i- like mainstream news networks in Netherlands, are they like major fear mongers? Like you should be afraid of this and afraid of that, like because that's kind of how I feel with like the legacy United States media.
Yeah,
Mainstream media.
yeah, that's also the thing that a lot of things that I see happen in the United States, we will have them have them here later also. So they also talk about climate change, and now they start to also talk about skin colors, and I'm like,
Oh, are
who
they?
gives a fuck? Yeah,
Are these really? They're
yeah.
really like trying to what call the natives of Netherlands a bunch of racists? If
Yeah, you
you,
have so
yeah.
the last election. So the biggest party we have like a lot of parties here, a lot of political parties, right? Um, and so the biggest one from the last election was the right leaning. So Dutch people are telling the government that we want like less immigration, for instance, right?
Mhm.
And but because there are so many parties, they have to find ways to work together, and they're all sabotaging each other. So it's very difficult for a right like block within within the political system to actually get things done, because they're constantly sabotaged or stopped, or and that's kind of frustrating. So there's now talks about maybe redoing elections. I don't know, man. It's even when you try to tell the government that you want things differently, the government doesn't listen. That's basically the situation you guys had also.
Right.
Yeah.
A long time.
Well, I wanted to show this because I think that goes right along with it. I mean, the whole Dutch farmers thing, right? I mean, that was an example to the freaking world,
Hmm. Yeah, they
you know,
didn't play along. Yeah, it's,
and good for them. I mean, to me, that seemed like they were speaking for the general population.
yeah. We even got this new like the farmer. It's called the Boerenbeweging, but it's a party. It's really weird calling it a party. What else can I call it? Like a political like
Well,
thing,
that works. Party works.
right?
You know,
Uh, all right, but it's so this came from the farmers, and like 4 years ago they started that, and now it's a really large like party right now, but it came from the farmers, right?
so basically, what I'm hearing you say is basically they've become the populist party.
Yeah, the
They're like
popular party,
representing the
exactly.
majority of people.
Yeah, yeah. You have I don't know. I don't know if you know Geert Wilders. He's he's like the leader of the Populist Party. They became the biggest one, the biggest party, but they're having trouble getting things done. So you make promises like and and then getting things done. It's really frustrating. I'm a little bit worried about where things go. So it's kind of a standstill right now. Not much is happening because neither like side wants to give an inch. So
Right.
I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen now. And like like I said earlier, I kind of tuned out. So the things that I know about it, it's like I I don't know much about it because I I try not to get too much involved with it.
You
Um,
stopped giving a shit about everything else and you started focusing on
yeah,
you.
I
And that's okay. That's
yeah,
a
Yeah.
good thing. It's a good thing.
Really, I mean, it seems like a worldwide struggle to get every single. We just have to remember that in every country, the people are much different than what their government is. You know, and I think the good majority of people, not nationwide, worldwide, just want to be left alone to do their shit. You know?
yeah,
People want to live their own lives and they don't want to be
Yes.
told how to live it. And this whole bullshit, with originally, I hate to go down this road, but the whole COVID and the vaccine bullshit and how it was forced upon us, it was one giant experiment.
yeah.
And I chose not to be part of the experiment. So I'm one of the few that
That's good.
consider myself lucky and consider myself pure blood. Which, by the way,
Amen.
you can go on our website and find a pure blood T-shirt if you're interested.
Oh,
But
really?
that's another story for another time.
Yeah. Hey, we're not at the plugging section yet. You can plug that at the end.
Absolutely, absolutely. But Dave, thank you so much. I really appreciate your candor and honesty. It makes me feel good to know that people like you out there are on the same page as us here in America, coming from another country and dealing with the bullshit that you're dealing with,
Yeah,
and
yeah. We're all dealing
understanding
with the
now
same
that
stuff. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. But
Now, well, let me
luckily,
ask.
luckily, you have this political structure that actually worked in your favor this time,
just
right?
recently, though, yeah. I
Yeah,
mean, think
yeah,
about it. I mean, you go back almost 100 years, and this has all been bullshit up until now. And
yeah,
this is the first time we're actually seeing, somebody's peeled back the curtains. Like we have our cosmic grandpa here, who's like our Wizard of Oz, and yet the government's been the evil Oz, trying to take control of everything we do and anything we do.
this this is really historical, man.
It
I
is.
think
I think
you guys can never go back now. This is now people saw it. It's completely out there in the open. You can never restructure things like they were, and that's a good thing.
and kind of going back to your point earlier when we were trying not to offend Americans, and I was really trying to get you to, um, I do, and you can correct me if I'm wrong. If America falls, the fucking world falls.
Oh yeah,
You know,
yeah.
if we lose the war, the rest of the world is right behind it.
This is
I,
why why it's so important that you guys get your shit together. Yeah, we
Call a
I
depend
like
spade a
it.
spade.
on you
Call a
also.
spade a spade.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
right. I feel that I
Stop being so
let you guys
arrogant.
down.
It's not perfect here.
I didn't talk talk enough about aliens, and don't really know much about politics. So I in some things I feel that I'm letting you guys down.
What?
Not at
This
all.
has
Not at
been
No?
all, Dave. This
Okay,
was a
okay.
This
great
has been
interview.
a fantastic conversation.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
love
Phew.
speaking with people that live in different countries. You were fantastic. And I've got to tell you, we've been able to maintain 13 viewers over on Pilled, and we've got 30 across all other platforms. So 43 is not bad. Obviously, people just love you because you're totally non-offensive.
All right. Oh,
And
okay, okay.
very polite. Hey, and on that note, I know we got a little political there at the end. We do like to do a palate cleanser with and Dave, just to let you know, we are branding you. It's not really with a hot iron or
Oh,
anything, but with this Flip City brand, you will always be invited back to come to FAFO streams, or if you have something to push again. I know you're not going to stop crowdfunding, so I know we're going to meet up again over here on the Creative Chaos or any other Flip City streams. So we've got to brand you, and I picked something super duper easy because I didn't know you. I also knew that you were from Netherlands, and I didn't want to quite offend you, so I picked something really really easy. Basically, and I thought it'd be funny because we got a guy here with an accent, a somewhat heavy accent, but you've got to change that accent now
oh,
to an English accent, like a
oh dear.
British accent.
Oh,
Like,
really?
oi, mate.
Oi.
No,
Oh,
I don't know. I'm terrible at accents
I
because
like a touch of milk in my tea.
I like it. I like it.
I don't
That
know.
works.
That was terrible. Really sorry, guys.
Oh, it's okay because you can practice while we do this read. Basically, what we're doing is we're bringing up, I think it's only 4 slides, and you're playing Gordon Ramsay if you know who he is.
Oh yeah, I know
Yeah,
Gordon Ramsay.
so you got to do Gordon
Oh,
Ramsay.
oh
You're
really?
gonna read straight off the screen,
Oh no.
and it's like 4 slides. It's super easy, and we'll all laugh.
Yeah,
It's
yeah. You laugh. You go laugh.
not at you, at the Flip City content. So, cause
Oh,
if we can get into our branding segment, I'm gonna read you in with this first slide, and then it's all you
oh
because this
no.
is all Gordon Ramsay. Talented chefs compete for cash and prizes on world famous chef Gordon Ramsay's latest cooking show, Gordon Ramsay's Super Cooks. Chef Ramsay addresses the aspiring chefs in the Super Cooks competition.
A great dish should be all about you, your passion, your lived experience. I want to see you put all of your heart into every dish you create. You hear me? You twat. Oh, uh, you have 30 minutes. Good luck. And remember, I want to taste you on that plate. That's more like it.
30 minutes later,
The heart is a little gamey, but the chimichurri sauce is delicious. Well done.
Oh my God. The end.
That's
Wow.
terrible.
I when I read the word chimichurri, I'm like, is Dave gonna know this word?
Yeah,
Like,
I
I
know
was
chimichurri.
impressive.
Oh,
I
thank
mean,
you.
British accent, so, but the fact that you said chimichurri, I was
Oh,
like, how is he gonna butcher this? That might be funny, but you said it
oh.
perfectly.
So does every guest get exactly the same like cartoon, or is it different?
It
Oh,
is different, almost every
Random.
week. Yeah, it's random. We'll do repeats, but Flip City's been publishing for 5 years, and we have a ton of content. So, and that was Flip City going very, very easy on you. You are now branded and invited back to all Flip City parties.
oh, thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Thank you so much for coming on. We're wrapping it up tonight, and I just wanted to say a super duper shout out to Laura the Goddess over on Pilled for rating us. Laura actually. Maybe a week and a half ago, I went on another podcast of a mutual friend of ours where we basically did what we just did with several Flip City pieces. And Laura was one of the voices, and she said, she can't wait to do it again. So, Laura, like I said, you are always invited to hang out with Flip City and do some live reads with us. And thank you very, very much for the raid over there. And then right here, checking in at the very end, Tim Olson is saying, "What's up?" And he said, if he had a nickel for every time I stabbed myself, he'd be poor. Good joke, Tim. By the way, Tim's been doing a great job across chats, in chats across YouTube with his stand up routine. He's pretty damn funny. So,
Oh,
Dave, before we end, I've been dropping the link to your Kickstarter. I'm sure you'd love people to go over and check you out over there. I'm going to drop it again one last time. And again, anybody that's watching this on a replay, you can find that in the description of the video. So, besides the Kickstarter, what do you want people to do?
what do I want people to know
Or do
or do? What do people want
to
people to do?
In
know?
order to find you
I,
and your books.
I kind of would like people to try and stop giving drama attention. That would be nice because there are some channels and creators out there. They really thrive on drama, and the attention only makes it like so we need more attention to go to people who just do their thing.
Let's change the culture, right? The culture of the
Yeah,
indie comic space where it's at right now, where all the drama gets all the attention.
but it's human nature. So I
Is
don't
it
really
human
think
nature or is it the culture? I don't
I,
know if it is it really human nature to want to see other people in pain? Because that's all
Yes.
the
yeah,
drama does.
but it's
Yeah.
basically
No,
Ah,
it's
it's basically
Freudenscheider. It's Freudenscheider.
yeah, it's basically the people watching it that make it happen. When people stop watching it, it will go away. So anyway, some people don't want it to go away, so it probably is here to stay.
maybe. Oh, dude, that's like such a freaking bummer. It really is. Like I really don't want to see people in pain. Like even people that I don't like that much. I have a very specific person in mind who is basically only a drama farmer. I don't want to see them in pain. You know?
Yeah,
It's
but
like
the thing is also that I think it's a bit of a shame that it gets associated with comics now, with the comic scene, with indie comic scene, and I don't think it has anything to do with comics. This could have been like darts or pottery or whatever, and would have been the same thing, right? So just I hope that people can separate it. You have like drama, that's a thing, and then you have comics. That's a thing, and some people want to pretend it's the same thing. It's not. So just when you like comics, focus on comics. Right?
you
I
know,
agree. Put their
there
energy into making good stories and great art.
I'm actually putting this back on because I have a theory. Like anytime there's any kind of like the amount of drama within the indie comic scene is something to behold, right? Whenever I see something like that happen, because I've seen it happen also in just like the general freedom movement scene. There's people that there's it's crabs in a bucket, right? We're all pulling each other down,
Mm.
even though we all have the same freaking common goal. I get I get my conspiracy tinfoil hat on, and I'm like, feds. There's feds. Like this was getting too powerful, and now there's fucking feds in here stirring the pot to get everybody in fighting. And that's my tinfoil hat thing. Like when shit goes down that road way too hard, I'm like, you know what? You know what? I'm pretty freaking sure that
You
this
think
is
there's
not
a lot of Ray
organic.
Epps? You think
I
there's a
don't
lot
think
of
it's
Ray Epps
organic.
among us?
I don't. I just feel like it's not 100% organic. You know. Anyway, so is EVS a fad? I don't know. Kidding.
No, but he's
He-
fat.
but he's what?
Fat.
Look at you, Mr. Drama Pants.
I'm sorry.
All
That
right.
was a terrible joke. Sorry.
I've heard he's fat. I haven't seen. Anyway, so Bruce, where can people find you?
So, if you'd like to catch me, you can see me not only here on Thursday nights, but on Sunday evenings at 9 o'clock Big Apple time, 4 o'clock Avocado time on Pill.net, DLive, Odyssey, X, Rumble, but mostly here on Pilled. On three, that's the number three, beer, BEER, men.tv. You can find any of the streams there on 3beermen.tv. Me and Cosmic Grandpa do a show with two other gentlemen. We talk about beer, pop culture, and technology. We try and stay away from politics, but sometimes we just don't have a choice. And, there's always
We
the
live in the world.
conspiracies. Like, who killed Gene Hackman and his wife this past weekend?
Yeah,
Oh
that
my
was really
gosh.
weird. Gina Hackman, his wife, and the dog.
All at
That's
the same time. I don't know. There's something going on there. But
man.
anyway,
And I'm
in the
sorry, you said
meanwhile,
that happened this weekend?
they just found their bodies. They just found their
Okay.
bodies the other day.
Yeah,
Yesterday, I
no.
believe. It was on the news today.
Thank you so much for I've been very, very busy today, so I haven't been able to keep up. And I didn't know what that was about because I heard a teeny tiny sound bite or saw it somewhere. So I didn't know exactly what happened. So
Yeah. I didn't know
now
about the
thanks for
dog. I knew
telling me.
about him and his wife, but
Yeah.
now I hear the dog. Something's just not right with that picture.
Yeah, that's really, really weird.
He was 94 years old or something?
Raul says 95 years old.
Okay,
And then
95. But all
all
three of
of
them were
them,
killed. Were
yeah.
found dead. All three were
Mhm.
found dead.
Apparently,
They didn't say
apparently they
killed, they
were
said found dead.
apparently they were dead for a while when they found them. So
Ooh, that's
yeah,
creepy.
weird story.
On a similar but totally separate note, I heard that if you're dead in your house with a cat, the cat's going to start eating you within hours. Isn't that
Within
gross?
hours.
Within
No, not
hours.
mine. Not mine. Mine wouldn't do that.
No, he would.
No.
Why, he doesn't have teeth?
Well, yeah, but he did. No, no,
That's a joke. That's a joke that I like to use a lot because we also anthropomorphize all of our animals so they all have voices. And my husband has a big fat orange cat that we have to feed a lot because he's a big fat orange cat. And so basically, I make the cat talk to my husband, saying, "Daddy, if you die, I'll eat you." That's all. That's the joke, and then we all laugh. Anyway, now to me. Back to me, everybody. Check out Flip City Mag. Go to flipcitymag.com. If you don't know who we are, we have a free magazine out right there on our website. You can flip through it. But something that's super duper cool is we're launching a campaign this Saturday at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. And right here on this channel, we're going to be doing a FAFO stream where you get to know us even more. We're going to have a bunch of friends come back on. Basically, everybody that has been branded through Creative Chaos is invited to come back on to our FAFO stream, help us celebrate our launch, do live reads, check in with the campaign, all that kind of stuff. If you are sick and tired of commies being a bunch of assholes and want to see people making fun of them, Flip City is the magazine that you need to read. So check it. Come back on Saturday. JC, I'm sure you said you left, but you said you subscribed. So check out our live stream on Saturday. Tim Olson, I know you're out there. So you're also invited to our FAFO stream. I'm going to be sending out links to that. And besides us FAFOing, it's probably going to be a little bit of a shit stream. So that'll be fun too. So everybody, thank you so much to showing up to Creative Chaos. It really is a show dedicated to shining a spotlight on fantastic people, creating fascinating things outside the mainstream. Dave, you absolutely are fantastic and fascinating. Thank you so much for being here.
Oh, thank you guys. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
And I will see you one time on my show, perhaps.
Oh, yeah, we're gonna book that backstage. I know it's super early. If you want to click the end button, we'll talk in DMs. But if you want to hang out backstage, we can even schedule that.
And just real quick, Tim Olson said, send him the link. He's in.
With bells on. Sweet. Sounds good. All right, cool. We will see you guys all next week, right here, same bat channel.
Same bat time, same bat channel. Flip City Mag's Creative Chaos.
All right.
Catch you on the flip side, everybody.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Okay, class. List everything insensitive, exclusionary, bigoted, nationalistic, misogynistic, and offensive that you can find in history's great myths and legends. Extra points for suffering panic attacks or emotional outbursts. Fact check every opinion against the lived experience of your comrades and allies, so you can avoid forming a criminal opinion. Scrutinize it cover to cover. Wrongthink, misgendering, dead naming, misinformation, microaggressions. Leave no page unturned.